Well, Wally here. Guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello and welcome to Wally's World live on Friday night. It is Friday. It is night in my world. And it is the weekend. So get into the comments. Let's have the crack. Let us put the worlds to right. Let us put the world to right. Tom, how's it going? Let us have a discussion about something. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Human, how's it going? Good man. Fair play. I'm going to my firewood A to Z has sort of gone. Stuart, how's it going? Has gone a wee bit up the left because I don't remember what ladder we're on. It could possibly be K. This is what somebody was saying. But I think we have moved past K. I think it's L or M. That's what I was thinking. Ed, how's it going? Guys, so I am unsure of what is going on. So L, yeah. Firewood, something that begins with L. What can you think of? What can you think of? Because I was Googling it earlier on. Larch, logs. You see, Ed, thinking outside the box. I would never have thought logs. That would just have been too obvious for me. But larch is a good one as well. Larch is an excellent firewood. The problem being is you can't get it anymore here because the forestry cut it all down. They took it all away. And that would be L leading straight into P for politics. And you know my rule about politics here, don't you? Get it out. Politics away. It doesn't really matter as long as it's civil. I don't really mind. So, guys, it has been... What has been happening in Woolys world this week? Well, Monday, guys, I think I recorded that video on Monday that came out today on Woolys world. And lilac. Guys, the video about the video about the cabin, the video that I made about the cabin. I recorded that this week, so I was actually down working on the cabin this week. And that is the first time in months and months and months that I am going to say maybe 6 months, could even be longer, since I have been down doing any work on the cabin. It is just sitting there full of equipment for Red Branch. That's all that's in it at the minute. That's all it's being used for storage. But I've decided that I want to push it on. Good guys, that's some good topics. We will maybe come back to some of them. I don't know if we'll go for fire lighting. Maybe. I don't know. Let me write them down. So this, if I can find a post-it on my amazing desk of post-its. Well, this is the thing, Tom. The cabin was supposed to be like a getaway, a bolt away, whatever you want to call it, for me and the family and the kids. We go down and just camp out in it. And we do use it quite a bit in the summer. Like if we're having campouts and there's lots of people staying, we'll just sleep in the cabin. The thing is that myself and my wife always end up sleeping on the floor because there's nowhere else. The girls would be on the bed or something like that. So, so what I want to do is I want to do it right. You know, I want to either... It needs more windows. It's too dark. It's far too dark. I do have some solar lights I want to put into it as well. People were commenting on painting it on the inside and stuff like that. And the bottom line is, guys, when all these decisions are being made, the bottom line is that I have that much of a budget. I have no budget. I am broke, completely broke. So everything has to be done for as cheap as possible. That's pretty much it. Let me see. Log burners, leaners. That's some good topics, guys. Some good topics. Yeah, so I was down. Lovely axes. Well, Ed, they're all lovely. This is it, isn't it? So I was down, and what had actually happened on the cabin is that when I put the roof on, and I don't know how it happened. I think it's because when we put the roof on, we lifted it up, whatever, 2 feet at the front or whatever that was. So there was a quite a big disconnect between where the siding had come up versus where we had put it on. So weren't really thinking too much about it. And when I actually cladded right up the side, there was the cladding didn't match up to where the 6x2s were. Okay, so they were actually, the cladding was actually a little bit out a little bit further. So what I had to do was I had to put fascia onto it. I had to put fascias on either side of it. So and I just completely made that up and completely was winging it. No, Tom, I don't think so. I don't. It's in a pine forest. When you get up on the roof's full of pine needles, right? So you'd end up, Pete, how's it going? You would end up having to clean it. You would end up having to get up and clean the skylight. So also the inside of the roof is non-drip tin. So it sort of would defeat the purpose of having non-drip tin to then put a sheet of perspex on it, I think. Well, this is what I was thinking, human. The south wall and the northwest wall, because in the summer, that northwest point is where the sun is going to be setting. So what actually has happened since I made that video, which is sort of going to dictate where it goes anyway, is that I went down and I started measuring up. So the window that I have is only going to fit in the south wall or the northwest wall. It's not going to fit in the northeast wall, the big wall at the back. It's too wide. It's not a long window like the other ones. It's a wide window. It's a kitchen window. So it'll work out that whereas the front window and the side windows are quite long that way, obviously, it's going to be more this way. So it means I'm going to have more floor space. But do you know what I mean? It's like it's flipped. It's like the ones that's in it on the minute are flipped on its side like that. So that's what I'm thinking. Evening sun is good as well, you see. And then that would leave me with a full back wall. Do I want a full back wall with no windows in it? Now this is the thing. The big window that I have at the minute, I have one big window and I have one bathroom window, which is really small. Woodcutter, how's it going? Which is a really small window, and it's frosted, you know, so maybe I could stick that in the back wall. Do you know what I mean? Just like plonk her right in the middle of the back wall. Well, you see, I don't need one, Ed, because I have the river. The river's just there. I can just go jump into the river and it can be freezing. It can be freezing. And you know, guys, I have been getting into my cool tank. I got into it this morning at about 6:30, and it was 13 degrees. 13 degrees. Well, that's what I was thinking, guys. But at the end of the day, all windows bring light. This is the fact. It is in a forest, you know, so there's not a great amount of light coming through it. Actually, the most light comes in from that main big wall, you know. So what I might do is I might put one in and hold it in the south wall, and then hold out and see if I can get another one to go in the northwest wall, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes. Now it just looks like I'm frozen. Yeah, so that's what I'm sort of thinking at the minute. But listen, guys, all help is appreciated. Let me know what you think. You know, like, I'm not an expert. I am like completely making this up. Ah. North-facing windows wouldn't cast shadows, you see. That's what I would think. Or there wouldn't be a movement of shadows. Do you know what I mean? If you have all your windows facing south, the sun is going to move right across them all the day. So what that means is that if you had something in that room that you were doing or drawing, the shadow would constantly be moving. That's what I would think. Being an artiste myself, you see the way I said artiste? That's how you know I'm a real artiste. But that is the plan. That is the plan. How about L for fixing chainsaws? Guys, my chainsaw guy is gone. He's gone. That's it. He is closed. He rang me last Thursday and he said, Wally, I need you to come in. I have a bite on my arm. Sorry. He says, I need you to come in. Here, I can't see anything. I need to put my glasses back on. A disco ball and a torch, Mark. That is a serious plan. Serious plan. I do have some solar lamps I haven't put in yet. That's probably going to be my next building project down there. I'll probably get that done someday next week. What was I going to say? My chainsaw guy is gone. He rang me and said, Wally, come in and pick up your scrap. I'm closing. He has closed for good. So from now on, I'm fixing my own saws. No. I'm going to have to fix my own saws. So expect a lot of footering videos to be coming out. Expect a lot of videos coming on with me going, what do I do now? My chainsaw's in a million parts on the floor. How do I fix it? So in other words, I'm going to be looking for help. I'm going to be looking for help from you. Yes, you. Every one of you is out there. I'm going to be needing help. First thing on the agenda is going to be putting the new carb in the 435. That's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to just replace the whole unit. See if I can figure it out. It can't be that difficult. Yeah, the only one I love. Yeah, I know. He's gone. It's not like he wasn't busy. I think he just got sick of it. I think he went away off to something that's going to be more continuous. Do you think it is the low screw, or do you think I need a new carb? That is, well, I suppose I'm better off trying the low screw first, aren't I? Because it will cost me nothing except the turn of a screw. So maybe that would be a plan, and that would be handy, yes. Tom, do you mean a two-stroke fixing course? Yeah, I was looking into something like that, but it never really came about. Yeah. Simon, how's it going? I don't know about spending money on unless I could get a Dewalt top handle. A Dewalt top handle would be perfect because I have Dewalt batteries anyway. So I have the batteries and the chargers and the kit. So and I don't think they make one. I think they make a back handle one. But Jesus, maybe a wee stealth chainsaw. Jesus, it would be handy, wouldn't it? Up, if I'm heading up camping or something like that, just cut up a bit of wood, and there's when I go up the goat camp. I don't know if any of you guys are over on Red Branch channel. When I go up the goat camp, there's always trees in my way. It would be handy just to go up there with a chainsaw someday and just because they are quiet, boy. They are very, very quiet. Very quiet. I'm not big enough yet. Yeah, I have 5-volt ones, or whatever you call them. They're 5s, so they're big. Yeah. No, I don't, Simon. I don't use anything like that. I did look at those filter funnels before, but Jesus, they were awful expensive. But I get where you're coming from with them. You're paying for something that's going to save you in the long run. I understand that the concept, but I just couldn't do it for a fuel filter. No, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. And unfortunately, that seems to be the running theme at the minute. It's like, you know, it's like, do I spend money on this or do I spend money on that? And, you know, truck's going to need to be serviced soon. So that will be where the money will go. Any money that I have saved up will go in a truck service. But a filter funnel for your fuel. So filtering your fuel directly into the can. Do you ever look in the bottom of a can? Some crap laying in the bottom of a can, boy. And I'm sure that the stuff that's going in, boy, is that's coming out of the pumps is not the best. I'm sure it's awful dirty. Like that big, I have a big 10-liter can, and I'd be looking, and there's like black stuff floating around the bottom of that, you know. How the hell does that get in? Does it get in from the underground tank? Is that where it originally comes from? Excuse me, boys and girls. Coffee filters. What? Waste coffee filters? I don't have any coffee filters, to tell you the truth. Or do I? Yeah, this is it. There's always some crap flying about the place. Always, 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 always. You know, so this is the way it is. And your man said to me, I was in with him before he closed. He says, you know, dirty fuel keeps me in business. That's what he said. He said the amount of yokes that come through him, that dirty fuel has clogged up something somewhere, you know. So here comes trouble. Maybe not. I'd be expecting to hear screaming from downstairs. They've just started season 4 of Stranger Things. Dun, dun, dun. Ah! Just from the dog. Pair of old tights will do it. I'm sure I have some fishnets laying around here somewhere that I could, one of my old pairs that I could throw into a filter, you know. Sort of might defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? Fishnets, fuel filter, maybe something a wee bit smaller holes. But guys, that's the crack. That's all I was at this week. I was at loads and loads and loads and loads of red branch stuff. Loads. It's been a real crappy day here. Excuse me. My hole's too big, Simon. I've been doing loads of red branch stuff, and it was a crappy day here today. So I literally have spent the whole day editing videos, just non-stop. I must have done 7 videos today, just to get myself up to November 13th. November 13th on videos. So, and this is generally the way it happens with me, is that I'm away off. I'll be away off, and I'll have a load of videos sitting ready to go. Upload them all, and I'll be like 2 weeks ahead on one channel. I'll be like, oh yeah, now I can relax. And then all of a sudden, I'm not anymore. I don't know, Simon. We don't know. I have written a list for L. So, no good ones, Ed. No good ones. So I have written a list for L. So, guys, we'll call it as L, and we'll go forward from there. Somebody was saying they don't remember doing K, but I sort of can remember doing K. What date's today? 21st. Look, I'm writing it on it, and I'm writing the date as well, so that I know. So when I pick it up next week, I know it's going to be okay. Let's get to it, guys. All things firewood, beginning with the letter L. L for leaners. L for leaners. Guys, leaners, leaning trees. Leaning trees, the old, what do you call them? L for low jet. Yes, we'll go to that one as well. I'm writing that one down. Leaners. Leaners. How do you deal with leaners? Okay. Leaners for me personally in red branch and anything that I'm going to be felling are not a big deal at all. It's not, it's something that I play with. So I have made a couple of videos in the past of dealing with leaners and bore cutting and special bore cuts and vertical bore cuts and stuff like that, and which is all good fun. But at the end of the day, like, they are completely safe, you know, because even if they do go really fast, they're light at the top and they're going to get hung up straight away. So I'm not ever really in that much you know, it's not like the whole thing's going to go tits up and a tree's going to come down and kill me. He says, touching wood, hoping that will never happen. So I do like the old bore cut. Lean on the gas. Yes, I do like bore cutting, but it is a very different scenario using the big saw compared to the small saw, I have to say. The power, there's just so much more power in it, and you're just always aware. Now when you get it into the kerf, it's fine, because even if it's kicking and it's catching the top, it's not going to go out, you know, because it's going to get caught in the tree. But no, it can be hairy enough. And the thing is, when you're cutting those small diameter trees, you can't do a standard bore cut anyway, because if you've done a standard bore cut, you'd be through the bloody tree. Do you know what I mean? You might as well just cut it from the back. You're going to be cutting it at the same speed. It's, you know, so that's the way I look at it for me. But I do try to practice. But what do you guys do? Let me know for a leaner. Simon, you love the leaves. So I hear. I love leaves, actually. I think leaves are incredible. Let me know, guys. What do you do? Cut and run, give her sticks flat out on the trigger and then run like hell? Or are you take her very carefully, do your bore cut, do all that, little trigger at the back, and then let her fall? I find some of these guys and their ability to bore cut, especially Buckins, his ability to bore cut is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Labor of love, Stuart. Labor of love. That's like my cabin. A labor of love. So let me know, guys. Come on, it's quiet. It's tumbleweeds here. Let me know the crack. Who does it differently? Try to take as much of the tree off the top and then cut it. Is that what you mean, Ed? Ah, so you're taking the weight out of it, which means that there's going to be less chance of it, or less wanting it to barber, because there's less weight. Then you have to go up it. Then you have to go up it. Yeah, that's sort of what I would do as well. Tractor would do the business as well, wouldn't it? Well, Tom, it depends on the leaner, doesn't it? If you're looking at a tree and you're thinking to yourself, this could possibly kill me, I would be in the same frame of mind. I would be leaving it be. I would be like, well, do you know what? You know, I think I'm going to leave you alone, or I think I'm going to get a professional in. Leave it for the winter. Let the winter take it down. Hopefully a storm will come in and blow it to the ground. Yes. Help or leave it for the winter. Yeah, leaners are tough, boy. Big leaners, like, people don't. This is my general feeling towards normal people and non-tree people. Yes, woodcutter, that will do it. Tannerite strapped to the tree, shoot it from 1,000 yards, 500 yards, you know, blow it the crap. Generally, I find that people who are not tree people don't understand the physics involved in trees, right? I have so many people who've gone to, can you just cut that tree down for me? And I'd be like, going, not a chance in hell. You know, some big leaner, like a big proper, nearly 45-degree, heavy, you know, 2-foot beech, and I'm going to myself, this right here is a death tree. If you do this wrong, you will die. And you know, all the time, yeah, exactly, Simon. All the time, like so many times I've had people go, will you come look at a tree? I want you to cut it down. And you'll turn up and it'll be like a 300-year-old beech tree overhanging a Franciscan monastery that's made entirely of glass and porcelain, you know, and you're like, they'll be like, oh, can you just cut it down and fall it over there, and which is against the lean and everything, and you're just like, what do you think people can do? You know, what do you think people can do with chainsaws? What do you think I can do with a chainsaw? You know, you're gonna, you know, it's hard to explain it to people. You know, like I had a guy meet me one time. It was all a bit funny. He rang me from a payphone, and he went, ring me back at this number, and then hung up the phone. And I rang him back, and he says, oh, will you come up and look? Yeah. You defeat his talk and defeat his walk away. And he says, come up and look at these trees. I want these trees cut down. So when I went up and looked at these trees, right, and they were all running along the top of a hill on a really busy road. So there was about 50 yards of trees right along the road, all leaning into the road, you know, like a tree tunnel. Big, massive ash trees and beech trees and Scotch pine and conchiolio and like just, and it was a field, so it was a square field, right? But one side of the field was completely along the road. The other side was overlooking a house, okay, and the other two sides weren't. And no, it wasn't dark hedges. And have I ever appeared on UK Felon Disasters? That's our YouTube Felon Disasters. And he says, I want you to cut down these trees. I think they're posing a bit of a hazard. And I was like, Jesus Christ. No, I am not a tree surgeon. I do not have a tree surgery business, right? I said, listen, you're gonna have to stop traffic. You're gonna have to get straight away, like, you're not doing this without stopping traffic. He says, oh, sure, I thought you could just get a digger and push them over into the field. Just put a wee cut in them and push them over into the field. These trees were massive, like, like, 4 or 5 foot bases, stumps on them, huge, all these trees were in their hundreds of years old. He's like, I thought you could just push them over with a digger and, and they'd be all right. And I was like, no, I'm going to have to get somebody else to look at this. And I got a friend of mine to look at it who is a tree surgeon. And very quickly was up in the realms of £10,000 and, like a full crew and mass, climbers and like multiple climbers and just like a mental job. One of these jobs that you just go, we'll let nature take care of that, so it's crazy. He took down a sycamore with a JCB. And did he survive? He probably did. Sycamores are big trees, boy. Big, heavy trees. Yeah, of course. But he's still alive, I take it. This is what I say. Final thought on leaners, and then we'll move on to something else. Guys, if in doubt, leave it. Just leave it. It is not worth killing yourself over a leaning tree, is it? Crazy. Crazy. It's crazy what some people will tackle. Your man in the shop said to me, he says, everybody in Dundalk will have to be buying new now. Yeah, I know, Diesel Man. They'll have to be buying new now because I'm going to be fixing nothing. And he says, everybody in Dundalk owns a chainsaw now because nobody can afford fuel. So there won't be a tree safe in the bloody country. Everybody is going to be cutting everything. This is going to be the problem. So us firewood guys, we're going to have to work hard to get our wood. You know, I know we were doing it before all them, but we're going to have to work harder to get our wood. She's already snapped. Different story. Different story if it's already snapped. You know, all the tension's gone out of it. It's not an explosion. Where's Ann Street? It's not an explosion, you know, waiting to happen. It's just you're just pulling something over. It's crazy. So, like, if you have a honey pot, if you have somewhere where you're getting your firewood from, wow. Was it a chainsaw or a handsaw? You should take a picture of that, Ed. That'd be dead cool. Oh no. Oh no, get a picture of it. Guys, okay. We leave them. We leave the leaners and we move on to the next one in L. Larch. Larch, guys. Larch is a firewood that I like to use. Okay, it is not something that we come across very often anymore up here. There's a few bits and pieces laying about, but I used to get a lot of it because I bought a load of it off the forestry up on another mountain up here, and I didn't get it out. The track got too overgrown for me to be up in and around it. But it is decent firewood. I like burning it. It splits really easy. No, larch is, well, I don't know. There's a European larch and there's a Japanese larch. Yeah. Good man, Simon. You know, there's a European larch and there is a Japanese larch, and I'm not sure if they would class the European larch as being a native tree. It's not on my list of UK native trees. No, it's not there. Scots pine is the only one. No, not native. No, I didn't think so. Burns well. I know, Ed. I understand that. And you know, and people do. People think it's just a case that if you put a face cut into a tree, that's it. That's where it's going to go. There's no two ways around it. But sure, we know ourselves that is not always the case. So it's yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I would like to plant some larch. I have got some larch. They've really soft needles, right? That's how you know they're larch. I have found some young larch up the mountain in various places, and I have dug them up and I've taken them away, but they've never ever survived when I planted them in Red Branch. I don't know what the difference is in the soil, or do they need something special to, you know, I don't understand it. Like, and I've been careful of the roots and stuff like that. privet. Maybe is what is that something? I've dug up loads of trees before and planted them, and there's never been an issue. Like lots and lots and lots. I put maybe 15 in Red Branch this year that I transplanted from my aunties. The only difference I can think maybe is that when I took them out of my aunties, they were coming from very poor soil, very, very poor gravel soil. They basically were growing in gravel car park, and I pulled them out of the gravel and buried them into proper soil. Or you find that the larch is difficult to transplant. I wonder, could I get some whips somewhere? I would like a few. Do you know, Ed, I 50-50 with my beech. But that's a really good point, Simon. That's something maybe I'll try. I have had loads of beech. Red Branch is full of little beech, and they're always in the wrong place, right? So what I do is I dig them up and I just move them somewhere else. And 50-50 they've lasted, you know, and died as well. I would like some sort of shrubbery, some sort of small, something that likes the dark. I know I've talked. I know I've spoken about this before, but in Red Branch, I'm trying to sort of break up Red Branch a wee bit by planting things in among the trees. And nice, good man, Ed. And so I was thinking of something. Now I was down in Wicklow, and they have loads of, what do you call that tree? But it's an invasive species. It's a nice little tree as well, but it's invasive. It is I have acers planted. I already have acers planted. Well, I've one acer planted. What do you call them? In Wicklow, I was in TP Adventures, which is in Rathdrum, and it is full of hemlock. Lovely little tree. But I think Ed was a guy I know down there was saying, what's Paulownia? Something native would be best. The Empress tree. What's Chinese? Ah, that's pretty cool. Imagine they would be really cool, wouldn't they? Guys, let me give you a look at that. That is a cool plant. Western hemlock, that's probably it. Not hemlock water dropworth. Good man, Ed. It's be next door to Clara Lara on the other side of the river. Maybe you see, I've planted rows of hazels and stuff like that, and silver birch and stuff, but they're getting hammered. They're getting hammered by kids standing on them. They're getting hammered by everything. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to mix it up. And, you know, people are always looking rid of shrubs. They've got something in a big pot that they don't want anymore, you know, so that's where I got my acer from. So I'll just start planting stuff like that in between them as well, I think. You know, the problem being is that they got planted in at the start of last year. So you need about 5 years before something's up about this height. And then it really starts to grow, you know. Any trees that I planted down a Red Branch, they just sort of filter about and don't really do anything for 5 years. And then all of a sudden, you know, they're 10 foot tall, 15 foot tall. Yeah, I've loads of willow. Goat willow as well. But it's the same. Maybe I'll cut them. Maybe I'll cut the goat willow and and composite. That'll work. Hemlock is good building timber. Tom, here is the thing. You know my struggle against brambles and nettles. I couldn't let them get a foothold again, and I would end up strimming all the trees I planted. I think I'll look at those. I think I'll look at buying decent shrubs that are already about 4 foot tall and planting them in. I think that's the best way to do it. Or digging up trees that are 4 foot tall and planting them in as well, because that will work. You know, as you boys are saying, you reckon it's better to do that sort of transplanting in winter when the tree is dormant? Yes. No, doesn't work, Ed. People just stand in this poo because kids don't look where they're going. They just go. Sure. That's not a bad idea, actually. That is not a bad idea. Holly. Yeah, holly would work, wouldn't it? Yeah, not bad. I'm doing some work in schools at the minute. Well, I always am, but I'm doing a bit on climate change with climate change in trees. No, that's a good flip side to that, isn't it? About climate change in trees, and we actually went out and gathered up seeds one week with 2 different classes. We gathered up seeds, and I went away off and I gathered up seeds outside of the school, and I came back with them, and I got the seeds, and I threw them out around the yard and stuff like that, and the kids went out and collected them. But we didn't plant. We seeded up about 450 trees and shrubs. Shrubs, I'm going to say, like hawthorn and stuff like that. So we got haws, and we put them all into pots and something. Be nice to have one of them down there, Simon. So, which is a handy way to get them, but then you're still waiting on whatever amount of years it takes for these trees, to get up to a decent maturity. Because I have at least 50 white thorn planted down at Red Branch, but they're only 2 foot tall, so how long will they take to come up? That's your 5-year waiting time again, isn't it? So what's cotton Easter? No, am I going to fall for some stupid joke there? I have to Google these, you see. Oh yeah, we have loads of them as well, yeah. Oh. See, and this is what happens as well. So I'll be walking around Red Branch, and I will find little small thorns, black thorns, white thorns, like this size. I'll dig them up and I'll replant them somewhere else. Yeah. Yes, Ed, that type does go well with an air mattress, depending on the width of it. 3 fat pigs. Tom, you ever try buying them off the Woodland Trust? They're quite cheap. I have a guy local to me here. Like, what I would probably do, Chippy, my man. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. What is the general consensus on the Emergency Act in Canada? I am interested. To me, it's illegal, but yeah, I didn't think so. The Emergency Act is only supposed to be enacted in a time of war, not in time of peaceful protest. Like, load of crap. When am I hitting the 7,000? Jesus, I don't know, Pappy. I don't know. What are we on at the minute? Let me check. I'll do a live count at the minute. Tell you exactly what we are on. It's a bit mad. You just sort of where am I? See live count. 6,980 subscribers, guys. Let me see. Since when? This is the one that will get you. I started my channel in 2017, guys. No, actually 2016. I started my channel in 2016. I was talking to Pat F about this. Yeah, Pat F. Small woodlot, guys. I started in 2017, and it wasn't on 2019. I went over. Let me see now. I lie. I had my first subscriber on the 12th of February 2015. 2015. Jesus Christ almighty. I hit my first 1,000 subscribers on the 4th of December. This is hard to do. Hang on. The 4th of December 2018. 3 years, 1,000 subscribers. Guys, Pat, do not give up hope. YouTube is a grind, boys. It is a grind, okay? Dewalt's new mower burst into flames. Oh no. No maple. No maple, but I did plant some field maple with the kids as well. I found field maple seeds over in the local park here. Keep at it, Chippy. Keep at it. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key, and sticking to your niche. Just stick to a niche, and that's it. If you just keep putting out the same type of content that people are watching on your channel, so you know. Stuart, you can donate to. Were you asking this before? Somebody was asking about this. People who are not on Facebook, guys. What I would say is, Ed, I do bushcraft with them mostly, but the school that I'm. Hang on a second, right? Focus, Wally, focus. The donation is through Facebook. If people are not on Facebook, I think, and you want to donate, I'm going to ask you to wait until December, because I'm going to do it in December for a different charity, the charity that I did the head and beard shave for my local hospice, who does end-of-life care for people with cancer. They look after my dad, my uncle, they looked after my mate Tony when he had cancer. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for a month in December as well. So I'm going to be dipping in that cold barrel on Christmas Day. Well, this is the problem, Chippy. When it comes to YouTube, I was exactly the same. No, I don't do Movember. Look at me, man. I'm all November. Consistency is the key, right? So when I started Woolys World, I recorded everything, anything at all, playing with the kids, anything I could think of. I thought this will be fun to make a video of, and I'd make a video of it, and away I went. The problem being is that if you chop and change from two different things, say you do one about chainsaws and you do one about, Ed, thank you very much, and you do one about bushcraft. This is what happened to me. So I did a video would come out about chainsaws, and a video would come out about bushcraft. And Woolys World was originally a bushcraft channel. So what happens there is somebody's into chainsaws and they watch your video about chainsaws. So YouTube sends them the notification that the bushcraft video is coming out, and they go, I don't like bushcraft, and you don't watch it. They don't watch it. Then YouTube doesn't know what to do with your videos, right? So thank you, Ed. Thank you. So I thought that people would tune in just for me, for my personality. The problem being is that you need YouTube to put your videos in front of people. And if YouTube doesn't know what to do with your videos, your channel goes nowhere, unfortunately. So this is what I did. I had a couple of videos on chainsaws and they were doing well. So I stuck to the chainsaw theme for a while. And this is when I started to gain traction. And I also, it was the releasing one video a day really helped, but that is mentally hard. But it was lockdown. I had loads of time. Business was shut, all that jazz. I was hanging about the house all the time. See, this is it. So what do you do, Chippy? Like, so after whatever amount of years, last year, that's why I decided to split the channel. And that's why I started the second channel. So I could keep the bush, because I like doing the bushcraft stuff and I like doing the chainsaw stuff and the firewood stuff. So I keep the firewood and that stuff and the building and stuff on Woolys World, and all the bushcraft goes in Red Branch Bushcraft. And it is, no, see, that's it, Chippy, you can't. But this is what you do. You go out and you record 4 videos in one day, and then you upload them in sequence, and you set them to come out at different times. So at the minute, this is what I was just saying. I edited 7 videos today, I think, and I have my Red Branch Bushcraft videos 2 a week until the 13th of November. So, and once you get ahead of yourself like that, then you can just keep it ticking over. I know a lot of you guys aren't interested in this, but it's just something that I have worked on a lot. If you want to succeed, if you want to do better, September, October, November, December is the time when you pump out all your videos. Okay, as much as you can. January, February, not so much. Well, January and February as well, but not so much. But once you start coming into March, taper them off. June, July, people in the Northern Hemisphere hardly even watch videos. June, July, August, because they're all outside. Good man, Doug. You see, this is it, right? And it has worked, right? Here's the proof. Red Branch Bushcraft will be 2 years old this year, I think. Guys, I'm nearly on 4,000 subscribers in 2 years. Whereas whatever amount of years I'm on this, and I'm about to hit 7,000 subscribers maybe in the next few days. Maybe by this time next week we'll be 7,000 subscribers. Yeah, seasonal is important. So, now is when you start putting videos out about winter firewood, winter this, winter that, winter this. Come December, you should be lining up videos for spring. So it'd be spring something, spring this, spring that. It's cool. That's right, Ed. Yes. Some people have come from the other side. So people who don't know I have Woolys World and are on Red Branch will be like, oh my God, you're growing so fast, and how do you do this? And it's basically because I repeated none of the mistakes I made on this channel. And that's what you do. You do the opposite of what Wally does, and you will all be multi-millionaire successful YouTubers. It's very funny. But it's cool. Shorts are amazing. I have been pumping out shorts recently, and I had one that hit 10,000 views in like 4 hours, and it got me 22 subscribers on Red Branch. It doesn't mess with your analytics really, but what it does do is it will like if you have a short that blows up and gets 10,000 views, it means that for the next couple of weeks it's going to be dragging all your metrics. It's not your analytics it mess with, it's your metrics it messes with. So am I saying that right? So I would still be cranking out the shorts. The YouTube is going to be pushing shorts. This is what they're saying. So if YouTube are pushing it, I would be making them, right? No, it did. Well, yeah, it did actually. Yeah, it had two. I put two out with Bruno. One was the Jurassic Bruno, and the other one was Bruno's World. So it hit like 9,000 views in like 4 hours or something. Crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But what that means is that that is going to be your top video, and everything else is it's going to show that it's not doing as well as that. But it doesn't matter. Nice, nice. Just pump them out. Just keep them coming. That's all I would do. Do you think? I don't do TikTok. I don't do TikTok. I am not. Lily does TikTok. I'm never going to have TikTok. I watched. Do you ever watch Joe Rogan about TikTok? Right. Good man, Peppy. Watch Joe Rogan about TikTok. Joe Rogan sat down and got really stoned and read the terms and conditions of TikTok. And he said it is insane. You are signing your life away if you have a TikTok account. They have access to all of your personal information. They have access to all the information on your device, even when you're not using it, even to devices linked to that device. Nice. I know. I know. I hate them. I hate them. I fucking hate them. I hate shorts. This is the thing. I will sit down and I will pick up my phone to check the weather because I am outside all the time and I use weather all the time. And next thing you know, I'm on Instagram and I've been on it for 45 minutes flicking through bloody reels. Or I'm on Facebook. Facebook is on my phone at the minute because I'm doing the dip a day challenge. But once that's over, it gets removed from my phone. It is a pain in the arse. These apps suck the life out of your soul. They suck the time out of your life and the life out of your soul. You know, YouTube, for all its flaws, there is decent knowledge to be gained on YouTube. But these short videos, boy, Jesus Christ. Chippy, that is really difficult. It's really, really difficult. Dopamine, that's what it's all about, Diesel Man. You're right. Nice shifter. I don't know what B-Reel is. I've never heard of it. Short attention span. Guys, you cannot keep kids' attention for more than 20 seconds. I work with kids all the time. Unless they're incredibly focused, you cannot keep their attention. It is absolutely ridiculous. Exactly human. Is it an app? Is it like TikTok and stuff like that? No, I can't be having any more of this crap. You know what I mean? So it is such a double-edged sword, I have to say. Like, I love YouTube. I love the community aspect of having the channels and stuff like that. But you know, the short videos are they are not good for me. They're not good for me. They are not good for me. I swear to God. Like, they're just. That's it. It's all a dopamine hit. Everything is a dopamine hit. Look up, watch Huberman. Huberman, the Huberman Laboratory. Did you hear Bruno drinking? Just... Bruno, come on. Don't drink all the water. That's what he does. Of course, the media is controlled by the government. That's why the government need you to be confused. They need you to be distracted. because then you don't know what's going on. Okay, they need you to hate each other and not them, because they can't make money if you hate them. That's what I think. And guys, on that little bit of conspiracy note, we were actually very, very good on the conspiracy theories tonight. We didn't go. Wooly didn't put on his tinfoil hat at all. Toilet water? What? So, no. There's a water bowl downstairs, and he's got a big, massive water bowl outside, but he goes, it's outside water, you know, and he'll come in and he'll drink that whole thing dry, like a horse, like blah, 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 like that. Water everywhere, dripping out of him, and he walks around the house, dripping water all around the house, you know, and then I stand in my bare feet or in my socks. I don't know which is worse. Anyway, listen, guys, if you haven't already, what? Really, Ed? Really? That is crazy. That is crazy. Listen, guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, give me a thumbs up. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Thanks for watching. Chippy, be safe now. Be careful.